Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. I am super excited to bring Kelly back again this week because we're going to talk about one of our favorite sailings, which is
Grand Turk and back. Grand Turk and back.
in
Miami to Grand Turk and back.
There is a Miami somewhere in there, and both of us threw it in a weird spot. But it's basically Grand Turk.
Yeah.
Kelly and I, like, literally, we say this all the time. I definitely say it. I know she does too. If you see this itinerary, which is, it's like maybe once every 3 or 4 months they'll throw it in there because that's all they can do, because pretty much Carnival, I think, owns the joint. So it's like when Carnival allows them to go. I mean, I'm exaggerating. I don't know if those are truly the rules, but it's something like that. Run. Purchase it. Go. It is the best itinerary ever. I love, 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 love that itinerary. We did it in October of last year, right? Yes, it was October, and it was during Halloween last year.
Oh, that's right.
Because it was supposed to be the DR, and they switched it on us to
Grand Turk.
Grand Turk. So then we just went again in April.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're a little behind on telling you guys all about it because it's now August. But that's okay, because we're going to talk all about our favorite one. Strangely enough, that it's our favorite. I say it all the time, but honestly, I feel like that one's our favorite, and obviously Key
Fire and
West.
Sunset.
Fire and Sunset.
Yeah, I think this is our favorite 5-nighter.
Yes, 100%. I'm not kidding when I tell you, if you see this on the itinerary, you run. You run. There's actually something next year that I wish, like, hands down, we would be on this. There would be no questions asked. Next year, they're doing Grand Cayman, Grand Turk, and Bimini. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better itinerary. Like, that is a dream itinerary. It should have sold out in, like, a day. But it's around the time that we're going on Iceland. It's, like, right before.
Yeah.
Or it might even be the same time. So that's why we didn't do it, because it kills me that I'm not on that one. Grand Turk, when I went there, Grand Cayman, when I went there, not on Virgin, obviously, I loved it. So for Virgin to go to Grand Cayman, Grand Turk, and Bimini,
I think that's a 7-night sailing, isn't it?
7-night, yeah. And it's, I know it's in July, and I know it's like right before we leave, or possibly even when we're gone, honestly.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's get back to Grand Turk. Grand Turk. So it's a 5-nighter, like Kelly said. It's awesome because you have the 2 sea days.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to keep it a little bit short because we're not going to tell you exactly what we did last time. We're going to tell you what we did in Grand Turk, honestly. We're going to talk about the fact that on one of the sailings, one of us hit their 100 nights. So in April, Kelly over here hit her 100 nights. And she hit 100 nights on Virgin. Mine was like right before that.
Yeah.
Whatever sailing we had right before that.
Yeah.
So I was just a tad bit ahead of her, which I wish we would have celebrated together. But we had really cute shirts. That said what? It's our 100th night. Where the hell did those shirts go?
I don't know. I tried to wear mine once to bed, but it's so sparkly and it's not a bedtime shirt.
No.
So I don't really have anywhere to wear it.
You know, speaking of, I'm totally skipping subjects. This is really turning into now the podcast of the season. We need to make shirts for August 30th. We're way too close.
Okay, that's in like 2 weeks.
Okay, so we have to do it. So originally the plan was we're going on August 30th, and the plan was to have just here for Sir Richie and have his little face right here. And then the backside and Boy George, because they're both going to be on there. And we have not made those yet.
We have time. We have right now, after we get off.
I agree. Hands down, we have got to go get these shirts made because I want to do a whole like flip thing and stand next to Branson, Sir Richie Branson, with my Sir Richie Branson shirt, and then next to Boy George.
Could it be like a reversible shirt? So when we're in front of Richard, it's him, and then we go see Boy George, and it's him.
You mean like from behind though? That's what I was thinking. Boy George is on the back.
I know, but I mean we could flip it.
Oh, our shirt. Oh.
Maybe like an off-the-shoulder one, so you don't know what the front or the back is, and you just flip it. Turn it.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. So
make them both feel special.
Yeah, right. Just when we put Boy George on the back. Everyone sees that one more anyways. Anyways, we've totally skipped subject. This is our second pot. Well, technically kind of our third.
We've been talking all day. Pretty much.
if you are just joining us for the first time, we are Fabulous Adventures Travel Company, and we run a group on Facebook called Virgin Voyages Cruise Tips and Deals, and that we did a live earlier today. So we do a Tuesday Tips live, and then we also did Riviera Maya podcast earlier. So we're very much totally talking like crazy today. We're just all talky. So yeah, so that's why we did a little squirrel.
Yep. It's very easy with us to
squirrel. Anyways, and back to Grand Turk. So Grand Turk, seriously, run, don't walk. You see it, get your tiny tushes over there and buy it, and buy yourself some Grand Turk. Anyways, it's basically in Turks and Caicos over there. The island is called Grand Turk. It's tiny. Apparently, what did he tell you? How many people did he say was only like $5,000? Like, there's not many.
Yeah, it's very small.
Yeah, there's not many people on this island. And so, basically, it's phenomenal. So we're Virgin Docks. It's really the only place you can dock, honestly. There's a huge shopping area and food and drinks and whatnot. So there's a Margaritaville right there. There's a bunch of shopping, tons of shopping. You know, the same normal Diamonds International and all pretty much the same stores you see everywhere throughout the Caribbean. But if that's what you're looking for, it's right there. But Margaritaville is right there, which is really cool. So do you want to talk about Margaritaville?
Yeah, Margaritaville is awesome. It has a really big pool. I think that you can just go hang out in there. I think they do want you to eat or drink. They want you to spend money, but the pool is awesome. They have a DJ, so they're constantly playing music. They're playing music that you can actually get up and dance to. Yeah. And then it's a full Margaritaville, restaurant too. So we go there and have some nachos and, start or end our day there.
That is very true. And like she said, the pool's there is a pool bar right inside the pool. So that's nice. So you're probably buying drinks anyways. And then, of course, there's a DJ, like she said. And then they do the shot hour.
Yes.
Shot hour is hilarious.
Syringes.
The syringe shots. And they just play the song shot
for 20 minutes.
While you go and buy shots.
And then you go home and you can't get it out of your head.
Yes, it is very true. So, that's Margaritaville. We usually have nachos, like she said, but of course it has the full Margaritaville menu. And right outside of Margaritaville, when you walk through there, there's an entire gorgeous beach that's just off of the ship. Like, it's not far.
I feel like you can swim to the ship. Like, it's almost you can touch it. Like, it's like right there. It's so cool to be able to be on the beach and in the water, and the water is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, clear. The sand is really nice. It's a nice beach, but I feel like the ship is just like within reach. Yeah, it's just right there.
It's really cool. It's very cool. Yeah, I agree, and it's super close. Everything's really close right there. So there's a bunch of stuff on that beach there. There's a bunch of different restaurants and whatnot, but everybody loves Jack's Shack,
which is at the very end.
The very end. You're walking for a mile and you're hot. And your feet hurt, and you're walking.
Yeah, there's different vendors and stuff selling umbrellas and chairs down the way. So if you do want a place to sit, we've never done that because, I don't know, we don't really like sitting on the beach. We're either in the water or we just throw our stuff on a chair or on the sand and get in the water for a little bit.
We did do this last time though. Yeah, we rented. It was like it was so cheap though. It was like $5, I think. It was a total of $20, I think, for like the umbrella and 2 chairs. So we did that and dropped our stuff in there. But that was right outside of Jack's Shack. And then we got a drink there. We didn't eat there. We just got a drink. Yeah, you could eat there. Apparently the food's great. It's fishy, lots of fish. Yeah, I think from what I understand. But the place is jammed. I will tell you, it's very popular. People love it. So I highly suggest it. We basically just drink there, and then we hung out outside there. The crew was there. The ship crew was there, honestly. So it must be pretty good if they're all there. It's the only place they want to go. I don't know. But yeah, so we did that. So you could totally do nothing at that port if you wanted to. Or you could, there's a bunch of excursions, of course. We did the Catamaran, which... I've talked about before. I know I talked about this, and I think I talked about it on an excursion, one of the excursion podcasts that we did. I talked about how I am very much I like private. I like to be by
She just
ourselves.
doesn't. Yeah, no people
Yeah, no people.
or minimal people.
Yes, I want to be in control of my own time. I don't want to have to worry about other people and what they're doing and if it's going to hold things up. I just don't want to be that's not me. I want to be in charge of my own time. So, with that being said, I love private. Well, anyways, we do this catamaran that's not private, and I'm like, all these people are going to be on this catamaran with us. How big is this catamaran? I'm looking at Kelly like, I'm not doing this. I literally was like, we're not going on this catamaran. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're doing it. She's like, no, okay, well, just tell me now and it was hot. So I think she was really okay with it. Like, we were dying that day. And so we had already been out walking around. Like, we hadn't cooled off yet at this point. And now we're getting on a boat. We're not sure when we're going to cool off. Like, it was just crazy. So, we're standing in line with all these people. And I was like, all right, listen, if we can get on the catamaran, I can find a place to sit and it's in the shade. Maybe we'll stay. Well, they corral you into this dock and you're stuck in this corral, no joke, and they're standing there not letting you by to let you on the ship because they want you to be calm about it, which I don't think that any of that was calm. Like, because everyone's trying to get on the ship, right, or on the catamaran. And I looked at Kelly and I was like, I'm almost done. Like, I'm really almost done. But I'm glad that we stayed because we had the best time. So we got on board. We were one of like the first 10 people on board, and we found a great spot. Snagged a spot in the shade, which I was very happy about.
Next to the bar.
Next to the bars, right? That helps a lot. Calm my nerves. Not my nerves, but my So they took us out to a snorkeling spot, and they said, snorkel first, no drink. Remember that?
Yeah, they wouldn't serve any drinks until we were back on board. So if you wanted to snorkel, even if you didn't want to snorkel, they were not opening that bar until everyone was back on board.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think they did open it just a tiny bit earlier because people were coming back on board at that point. Yeah. So like, they did start serving those of us that were just floating. So you could just float if you didn't want to go to snorkel, because he didn't put us right by the snorkel thing. You had to like go over there, and he said, I put you over here so that you swim against the current on the way out, so that when you come back, the current takes you just back to the boat. And he said the current was strong at the time, to be very careful. So I looked at Kelly and I was like, do we need to snorkel? And she was like, nope. And I was like, good. So we did get in the water just to cool off and just kind of bounce around. I mean, it was pretty wavy out there. It was not calm by any means. And we just sat out there and bounced around and enjoyed in the water. It was nice, talked to people, hung out. And then we got back in, and then that's when we started drinking.
Yes.
And then it was over. Like the rum, oh my god!
Yeah, they had their own rum punch.
Yeah,
I think
that was
you could
crazy.
you could get like a rum and coke or other things, but the rum punch was
rum
flowing.
Punchy. Yeah, it was very rum punchy. That is for sure. So then after that, they beached the catamaran, and we got off on the beach and went on the beach and hung out there.
That was so fun.
It was fun, and it was calmer over there. I want to say,
It was calm.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember it.
It was much calmer over there, and we just hung out and talked and chatted and enjoyed. The sun was starting to kind of go down-ish because we did the 1 o'clock, so there was 2 different times that you could do. You could do the 10 o'clock in the morning or the 1 o'clock. So it was about 4-ish o'clock, almost 5, I think, at this point. So the sun, and this was October, so the sun was starting to go down already.
Yeah.
And so we got back on the boat, and then they took us back. But it was awesome. I don't love the amount of people that were there, but I have to say it didn't really bother me that much. We ended up dancing on the way back. They did a bunch of, Macarena, wobble, Cupid shuffle. They did all the dances on the way back, which was fun. So we had a good time doing that. And then we got back on the boat, obviously, after that. So that was super fun. That was one of the excursions we did there. Then the second excursion we did was the golf cart one, which I really enjoyed. But the golf cart ahead of us, you know that PTSD from that?
Oh my gosh. That was scary though. It was scary.
So the golf cart ahead of us would backfire. And not just backfire like pop, because you would think it's a golf cart, it'd just be a pop. It literally sounded like the thing was blowing up, and it was loud. And I would jump and scream bloody murder. Like, it was awful. And it tended to happen when it was just taking off.
Yeah.
So, like, I was like this when it was leaving. I was like, oh, don't do it. But, no, it was bad. And then, of course, it's always when, of course, what is it? Murphy's Law or whatever. What is that saying? Where you know, of course, you take your hands down. The minute I did, it was like, pew, and I'm like, ah! Like it was terrible. Anyways, but the excursion was fun. But these golf carts had seen their last day. I don't understand what it is. Do the golf carts go to the graveyards in the Caribbean? Like, I feel like every Caribbean isle has the worst golf carts on the planet. Like, it's like the American golf carts go to die in the Caribbean. They're like, ship all the crappy golf carts over to the Caribbean. They're like, because every time we get in one, it is like beat to death and barely hanging on. There's like duct tape around it. There's bungee cords holding it together. It barely goes. Like, it has a moment of like, it doesn't kick into gear. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. Like, that's what it feels like. You're like, what the heck is happening to these freaking things? So you would think because we were going on this excursion, like we'd have a great golf cart. Oh no, this thing barely went. Like, you'd put the pedal to the metal and it was all... And then all of a sudden it'd be like, and then it would take off,
right?
And your hair would fly back. And you're like, whoa, it's joining us now. Like, do you remember?
Yes.
Like, it was like, oh my God, everybody hang on. We're now taking off. Like, it was the craziest thing. Meanwhile, the one in front of us is backfiring. Like, we could have died, poked an eyeball out, blown our head off. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not selling this very well, but I will tell you that it was phenomenal. We still had a great time. So you stopped at different places. One of them being this, I don't know how to describe a bar. How do we describe it nicely? It was a bar.
It was a bar.
That was not a bar you'd normally stop in. It was like a hole-in-the-wall bar, okay? And I was like, do I get a drink with ice in it or do I not? Well, I did, and we drank, and it was actually really good. I actually had rum punch there, too.
Yep.
And the rum punch was good. But we drank there, and it was good. I survived. There was no Montezuma's Revenge. Nobody was sick. Nobody was doubled over the toilet. It was good. So that's like my biggest fear. If you keep watching all of my podcasts, you'll understand when I talk about it. It's like my biggest fear, this Montezuma's Revenge. So anyways, so we stopped at a bunch of different places, and they explained obviously the island to us. We saw donkey.
We saw a lot of donkey.
Lots of donkey.
Random wild donkey.
Wild donkey.
And dogs.
Yes, dogs, yes.
There were a lot of dogs.
Yeah. So, but it was super, like, it was really fun. I highly suggest it. It was short. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it didn't take up much of your day.
Yeah, we try to do short excursions. I'm not a big fan of being gone for 8 hours because, again, now you're going to that spot where I don't like to have someone else be in charge of my time. I want to be in charge of my own time and what I want to do. So I tend to pick shorter excursions. So this one was also a shorter excursion.
Yeah.
Because that's how I like to do it. And yeah, so, and then after that, they stop at the beach, and it was a really nice beach. What was the name of that beach, though? I can't think of the name of it. It was beautiful. It was not the beach that it's right there at the boat. It was a completely different beach. It was beautiful, honestly. They stopped there, but they didn't let us stay there long. They were like, you have 5 minutes. I'm like, what?
I know.
What is the point?
I know. We couldn't go in the water. I mean,
we did.
We did, because I remember being
because I think
wet.
we were hot.
Yes. Yeah.
So we ran into the water, ran back out. But, and then we dropped off the golf carts. I think that's when we went to Margarita this time. We went later.
Mm-hmm.
Had some nachos. And then ended up at Jack Shack again. In the water there. And then back to the boat. So it was a good excursion. But it's just beautiful. If you've never been to Turks and Caicos, the water is gorgeous there. It's funny because, you know, now that I feel like I've literally been all over the Caribbean, there are places where, yeah, sure, the water's blue, but nowhere like Bimini. Bimini is a color that I've never seen anywhere before. Like when that sun shines on it perfectly at 10 o'clock, I think it's 10, 11 o'clock. It is like nothing you have ever, it is not a color. The pictures don't do it justice.
No.
Nothing does this thing justice but your eye, honestly, because it is just beautiful. And it's the same thing in Turks and Caicos, in my opinion. The water is crystal clear, just an absolutely gorgeous blue. And those are the two, in my opinion, best places for water. We went to Aruba, and I thought it was going to be gorgeous, and I was like, it wasn't that great.
No, yeah.
I was still like, I'd take Bimini over this in a heartbeat. Bahamas over this in a heartbeat. Which is strange. Aruba, though, itself, phenomenal. The actual city, the actual island, oh my God, I loved it. We had the best time there. We had so much fun. But the water itself, if you're going for water, Turks and Caicos and Bimini or Bahamas, hands down, has the best water. Even Grand Cayman. I mean, they talk about the white beaches. It was all right. So I still love, love, love those two places. Best.
I agree.
Places.
I agree.
So run. Don't walk if you see Grand Turk. So we kind of made it super short, obviously. We didn't tell you about the whole thing, but like I said, we celebrated our 100 night on there. We celebrated together since we skipped over mine. So we celebrated hers at the same time and enjoyed that sailing immensely in April.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Had a little too much fun. And then, of course, with that sailing, so like you do Grand Turk and Bimini. So you do both of those, which is nice.
Yep.
You get all the nice water.
Yes.
And in that sailing, what did we do? Didn't we go to... In Bimini, we rented a golf cart.
We did.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that really quickly. So instead of doing like our traditional beach club, we went and rented a golf cart, and I had a little fit. And Kelly was like, let's go. It's time to go. So what happened is we got there at like 11:45, right? And we got there at 11:45, and so I said, okay, how much for a golf cart? And the guy was like, oh, it'll be $80 in the afternoon or something like that, he said. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And he goes, no, it's $100. So he changes the price immediately. I said, no, I want to pay $80. And he goes, well, it's not $80 right now because it's not the afternoon. And I go, okay. So I look at my phone and I'm like, I'll wait 13 minutes. I'm going to stand right here and wait for it to turn afternoon. He goes, well, I'm not giving that price this afternoon. Remember he said that?
Yes.
It was the craziest thing I'd ever experienced. And I go, what? I was like, you just told me that you were going to give me that price. And he goes, yeah, well, what did he say? Someone couldn't honor it, or he had to call someone to honor it. I can't remember. It was literally the stupidest conversation I've ever had in my life. And I was like, I didn't matter. I go, well, you just told me that you'd give me that price afternoon, so I'm waiting for 13 minutes. And so Kelly goes, Samantha, why are we waiting? Just let's go to the next guy right next door. So moral of the story is don't throw a fit like I did and put your foot down and basically say that you're going to get the price that you want and with some guy, because the guy next door will give it to you, which is what happened.
Yeah, he didn't even blink an eye. He was like, $80, sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got in the crappiest golf cart on the planet and hoped to God that we'd make it back. So we pay the guy $80 cash. You have to pay cash, obviously. We get in and we go off to the Dolphin House because Bob sent us to the Dolphin House. He gave us some ideas. So that was super cool. Bob, one of our Kelly's clients, he told us to go to the Dolphin House. So that was really cool, which was, I'm going to let you explain it.
It was cool. I don't remember his name. Oh, gosh.
Oh, dear.
There is a man that lives there. I don't know if he lives there, but
He does.
Oh, he does?
I think so.
He designed or created this house out of just everyday things that you would find anywhere. Bottles. There were things just in the walls and the floors everywhere. It was very eccentric, but it was really cool. And it was like 3 stories. The top was like a flat roof that you can walk out on and see.
Cool.
Yeah, the view was amazing from there. It was just really cool. I mean, you pay a couple bucks, $10, I think it was, to go on a little tour. And we actually did it ourselves. I don't know if everyone does, but there was a large group that showed up right after us.
Virgin actually from, a group from Virgin showed up, I think it was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And they were doing the tour.
Yeah, so we explored that a little bit, which was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. So we did that. And then we ended up at Radio Beach, which is another beach in Bimini that most people don't go to. But the place is beautiful, and there's a bunch of little shacks there that you can have a drink, and we did. So that was a little scary for me, but I survived again. No Montezuma's Revenge, which was great. And then we took the golf cart and went all the way to the end. So there's one road, so you can't get lost, really. I mean, there's 2 roads, but you can't really get lost. They go one direction, that's it. And then I wanted to go all the way to the end because I love that beach down there. So that was pretty cool. So we did that. And then we talked about stopping. There's a brand new bar called Mr. John's.
It's John's
Bar? Something. The place looks brand new. And I was like, oh, man, we should have stopped. I don't know why we didn't. I think we were just hot. Again, it's one of those things that we're just like hot. And we're like, let's get to Bimini so we can get in the water. Because we hadn't been in the water yet. So I think we're just hot. But
Big John's.
That's it. Yeah, you're right. So I was like, oh, we should stop there. So we keep saying that that's on our list. So I don't know, try Big John's. It looks brand spanking new, like they just built it. Place is huge, outdoor bar. Looks like they serve some great food probably, and definitely drinks, that is for sure. And then we also stopped at this other place. It was like a conch shack, and there was conch everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
piles and piles
of the shell everywhere. And apparently that's like the place to have it. So I don't eat any of that stuff. But I did look at Kelly like, want to try it?
I know, I should have. I think we were just I felt in my mind we were on our way to Bimini and we weren't going to stop. And I was just ready to go.
Yeah, that was what was happening. So, and we also stopped at this bread place that Bob suggested. We didn't end up buying it, but it was a bread store. The bread looked delicious. We didn't end up buying anything.
I think it's just called Bimini bread.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Oh, shoot. All right. Well, that's easy. Easy enough.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, right. You can look it up. I bet if you type in bread, honestly, there's like 3 things on the whole island. You can't miss it. And then, like she said, we returned the, I think we were gone a total of 2 hours, really, honestly.
Yeah.
We returned the golf cart and then headed to Bimini Beach Club. Did we go? No, I'm thinking about it. We did go? Okay.
You don't remember Belvedere Bar?
Yes, the Belvedere Bar. I do remember now. So we did end up going and drinking some more Belvedere. Yeah, so super fun. Rent the golf cart and do all those things. So we keep saying that we're going to do that again when we don't have a cabana.
Yes.
So yeah. So that was our Grand Turk.
Yes.
That Kelly keeps begging me to go on next month.
I do, and I was going to mention it after we got off this, but
see, it's coming. I knew it was coming. I knew the pressure is on. It's coming. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. But all right, yeah. Is that good? We did good?
Yeah, I think so.
See, run, don't walk. Kelly's trying to make me run to the next Bimini.
I am. You said yourself, if you see it, go.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Really is.
Let's go.
I know. It really is. I agree with that. So, all right, well, we will end this one with that. Hopefully you'll go on Grand Turk. If you are on Facebook and you're not in our group, you should be. It's Virgin Voyages Cruise Tips and Deals. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, it's Samantha-Fabulous Adventures Travel and
Kelly-Fabulous Adventures Travel.
Yep, and we're always on board, like once a month.
Always.
Sometimes
maybe
twice a month.
Sometimes twice.
And last month 3 times.
Yes, it was.
That's terrible. It's kind of sickening.
Ugh.
Really bad. And we're very excited about August 30th.
Yes.
With Sir Richie and Boy George. Come.
We got to go because we got to go make T-shirts.
Oh, yeah, we do. All right. We'll see you guys later. We'll leave you with our favorite phrase, which is,
You float our boat.
All right. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.